okay, but in your own time.
Okay. I watch myself. I'm a child. I live in one of the most affluent areas in Swansea. I go to private education, which costs thousands of pounds a term to attend. We don't rent, but it's not our home. I wake up at 5 a.m. It's so cold. I smell dust, stale air, damp plaster, mould and rust. I listen to my mother's heavy, laboured breathing. Is she still alive? Has she suffocated? Is she awake? I hope the answer to all three of these is no. I crawl out of bed. I stay low. I've memorised which floorboards are loud and which are damp. I think to myself, damp is quieter, even if it's unsafe. I don't want to risk waking anybody up. The carpet is solid after decades of use and build-up of dirt. I feel it under my toes. I press the kitchen door closed and heat up a full electric kettle of water. We have no heating, no hot water. I can't boil it fully because that would be too wasteful and too loud. I watch myself carry it back upstairs, slower this time. It's heavy. It affects my weight and tips my balance. I'm at risk of being caught. I creep into the bath. I put my foot over the crack, which I tried to cover up with paste I bought from Wilko's, but which is spreading due to the bath's brittle state. My foot will block the leak, I think, and the stench of soaking mould answers my denial. Painstakingly, I mix the warm water with ice-cold water from the bath tap in a plastic jug from Poundland. I try and pour it over my body. Half a kettle should wet me enough to use soap, the other half then to rinse me off as best I can. But I hear movement. I'm caught. I'm still covered in soap. I watch myself go still in shame. I've wasted what little we have. I'm ungrateful, she rants. I'm not my mother's daughter, she says. I take every sacrifice for granted, she screams. I know her anger isn't manageable anymore, no matter how hard she tries. I wish I was a better daughter. I wish I could fix her. My sister is silent. I pull on my private school uniform. It doesn't fit, but that's the least of my worries. I can smell myself. Dirt and anxiety-soaked sweat still on my skin, mixed with the soap I wasn't able to wash off in time. I know what's coming in school. I don't think I'm resigned, but I can see I feel nothing. I go to the car to wait. The brakes don't work, so I remove the stones I put behind the car's wheels and pray it starts in time, and it does. We drive to school. Mum wants my sister and I to escape poverty through education, so I must get to Oxford or Cambridge. I know it's what she wants. The car is cheaper than the bus. Mum can't stay awake at the wheel, though. Her eyes roll back into her head, and I reach over to steer the wheel from the passenger seat as I shout to keep her awake. She can't stand the sight of me most days, so I'm lucky to get away with it. I watch myself walk into school. My sister and I promise to find each other during the day. It's the only company we'll be getting. School kids mostly keep their distance from my stench. I watch myself sit on a table alone as others move theirs to other parts of the room, only coming near to sniff the back of my head for a dare. Do you share your shower with your parents? Imagine. Don't you have your own? Is your skin always that colour? Why doesn't she look like her sister? She must have been brought in from somewhere. Is she adopted, maybe? Have you seen her father? No, I haven't. Ugh, do you think she's got a crush on someone? Imagine that thing touching you. Ugh, I gotta go get some air. My bags and books go missing. I'm sprayed by various aerosols as I pass by. I can taste the concoction in my mouth. I'm followed at a distance by jeering groups of boys and girls. I instruct myself to stay quiet. It's just a normal day after all. My mum is still parked outside school. It wasn't safe for her to drive home, and the petrol money won't stretch far enough. She slept in the car. I'm being picked up from school early today anyway. We have a GP appointment to go to for my mum. I catch the teachers taking a look at my mum asleep. I hear the tone in their voices, but I can't hear the words. The voices in my own head fill in for them. They all know how mum owes thousands of pounds of debt to the school in unpaid fees. Benefits income would never stretch that far. I'm late. I don't know what's going to happen to me when I get in the car. I watch myself and I think of nothing. I feel cold and very lonely. We drive to my mum's GP. She's in so much pain. We don't have family friends, so I go in with mum to help. I watch myself stand there. I watch her ask about her appointment. There's been a mix-up. The receptionists are calling people from the back. They're here, she's back. They don't notice me. Perhaps they don't think we're together. People come from the back to giggle and stare. I watch myself, standing like a fool. I can't think of what to say. Mum is desperate now. She's shouting. Her face is bloodshot from exertion. Her pupils are pinpricks. She's so obese. There's nothing wrong with you. Go for a walk and you'll feel better. If I can work, why can't you? Don't come back in here. So we leave. She sits in the car and she weeps. My sister and I sit in silence because there's nothing we can say. I see us sit in our single room at home. We have one seat each, which we stay in until it's time to sleep. Only one light left works reliably. We huddle around a single electric heater and rotate it between us every 15 minutes on the dot. It looks so cold. And it is. Eventually we proceed to bed. We walk in single file through mountains of clutter which reach higher than my head in many places, and I listen to my mum heave herself up the stairs. She'll be dead soon. She checks herself into A&E, and they discover a tumour, too far advanced to save her. They say to us, well, at least you can't eat now. At least you're losing some weight. It must save you a fortune. And then they turn to me and they say, who are you? Family only, surely. I can't be family, I suppose, because I have my father's skin colour. I watch myself say, I am my mother's daughter, but I feel so far away. I'm watching myself sit beside her hospital bed now. The nurses have recognised me of next of kin at last. Mum's death rattle sounds like her sleep apnea, I think. It was always coming to this. The voices tell me to keep the family together. My sister needs to make it out of this hell. When she's stable, they say, then it's your turn to die. Today, I woke up gasping for breath, like every morning since they all left. My heart still pounds against my rib cages, and I look to check that my sister is alive, that my mother is alive, that my grandmother is alive. I'm sweating. The room is empty, though. Using techniques from counselling, I reason the voices to speak quieter. I remind them that my sister did make it out, and today might yet be worth living through for me. I shower using hot water I pay for through a stable job I'm lucky to have. The beginnings of a career, perhaps. They murmur at me throughout the day, and I instruct myself to acknowledge them and ignore them. Every day. Every now and then, I can swear I can smell those childhood smells of mine. And every now and then I hear my mother screaming, but I can't make out her words. I watch myself look in the mirror. I still can't see my mother's face. I can't see my mother's daughter. I wonder what I need to do to earn the respect of a dead woman, and every day when I go home I fix a bit of plaster in my home.